One of our members, Bill Holstein, asks, the billionaires did well by promoting globalization. Is globalization now breaking down in view of the Russia, Ukraine, China dynamic? If so, what impact might that have on Davos Man?
Yeah, that's a great, big, not totally answerable question. There's no question that the global economy is changing, right? I mean, before the pandemic, we had the Trump-led trade war, which was prompting lots of multinational companies to look for places to move production beyond China. There was already, even before that, a lot of companies were looking at places like Vietnam because it was cheaper. They were getting tax benefits. There were differentials in wages. China was starting to get expensive. That's all sped up pretty dramatically. I mean, we've now lived through a time where even ordinary people are aware that you can have a pandemic, and in the richest, most powerful country on earth, frontline medical workers are not going to have gowns and masks because, it turns out 90+% of that stuff is made in a single country that we decided to have a trade war with. That doesn't seem like a very good way to run your business. Moreover, huge numbers of basic chemicals that go into pharmaceuticals made in India at a time when India and China don't have good relations. And now, of course, we're living through this supply chain disruption, which has caused us all to quite rightfully look at this assumption that has ruled the global economy that, seamless shipping could just be taken for granted. So you got to think there's going to be some localization. There's going to be a change to our supply chain in the margins. But personally, I'm skeptical that there will be the kind of transformation that many people are talking about, because shareholder interest is still going to determine, the shareholder has managed to cater to consumer interest, and consumers want low prices. And that's a pretty powerful combination. And what typically tends to happen, I mean, if you look just at the supply chain, there were similar conversations after Fukushima, which wiped out a lot of chip making capacity in Japan. We had floods in Thailand around the same time, and we learned that lots of computer hard drives were made there, and there were shortages of goods. I remember writing a story back in the late 90s about chip making being centered at that point to a much lesser degree in Taiwan, and there was a big earthquake. Each time we just get back to normal because it's good for the shareholder. But definitely Davos Man is taking note of the changed environment in which we live.